What's going on, Ben?
Not much, not much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Welcome to King of the Course. We're going to be going over a couple things today. We got a new episode coming out, and going to be interviewing you today, and just going over college golf and what you've been up to. So how's it going?
It's going good. We just wrapped up our season last week at Greyhawk. We struggled a little bit, but we had a teammate of mine play pretty well, so he made it to the final round of stroke play. Ended up finishing 20th. So
Oh,
we got to watch him finish up, and I think we're all happy we got to see Greyhawk
yeah, that's awesome, man.
before next year when we're back.
That's awesome. Had you guys made it before?
No, that was our first time at Greyhawk, but we went to the national championship my freshman year out
Okay.
in Arkansas.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So kind of give me a background, like stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm from Columbus, Georgia. I've been playing golf pretty much all my life. I played a couple sports growing up, basketball, baseball, and golf. And then I got to high school and decided to stick with golf and started playing a little more tournaments and started to play pretty well and started to look at a few schools. I ended up committing to North Carolina State my junior year, and then had a change of heart early in my senior year, and now I'm going into my fifth year at Georgia Southern. So
Nice. Nice.
it's been pretty good so far.
So where are you from?
I'm from Columbus, Georgia, which is
Columbus.
on the Georgia-Bama border. I grew up playing at the Country Club of Columbus, old Donald Ross, little hidden gem in West
Yeah.
Georgia. So
Sweet.
yeah, pretty lucky to have grown up playing
How
there.
how far are you from your school?
About 3.5 hours. It's like the perfect distance.
Yeah.
I've loved it.
Yeah, just far enough from your parents, but not too far, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's been good. It's been good. I can get home when I want, but it's just far enough away to where I'm on my own.
exactly. So like, what are your facilities like at school? You got pretty nice courses and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a pretty big facility just off campus, kind of tucked back in the woods. We got a driving range and we got two chipping greens and putting greens, and three practice holes that run around the facility, along with two hitting bays. So we're pretty lucky there. It's always in real good shape, and we got two nice courses that we get to play at. We have a university course, and then we have a local country club that we're lucky enough to have access to.
Awesome. So kind of run me through just like what your daily life like in season is, class, workouts, stuff like that.
Yeah, so we have workouts 3 times a week at 6 a.m. So that's usually how our days get started, and then we'll have class in the morning, and we'll usually have the afternoon for qualifying or practice or whatever it might be, and then we usually leave for tournaments later in the week. Miss a day or two of class, which sucks to catch up on, but sometimes it's kind of nice to
Yeah,
get away from school for a couple extra
yeah,
days.
sure.
But yeah, most of the free time is just spent practicing and playing. It's a blast.
You guys have a pretty like structured schedule with practice. Like, does your coach set up things, or kind of on your own, whatever you feel like working on?
It's fairly structured. So a couple times a week we'll have big team practice, or we might play as a team. But we also have a ton of time on our own to get stuff done, and he helps us kind of plan out our practice and get a little more structure going in our daily lives, which we're pretty lucky to have. But
Yeah,
yeah, we spend a lot of time practicing on our own too.
nice. So what tournaments you got coming summer?
I'm gonna play the Northeast Amateur, the Southern Amateur, USAM qualifying, and the Western Amateur.
Nice.
So looking forward to those. Those are all some of my favorites. So I'm ready to get on the road.
Cool. How's your guys' team looking for next year? Supposed to be pretty strong again?
Yeah, real strong. So we're actually not losing anyone.
Really good.
Yeah, we got two guys coming in that can both really play. So we're gonna have 12 guys on the team that are all pretty experienced, and a couple of us have have been in the postseason before, and like I said, we've seen Gray Hawks. So I think next year could be a really good year for the team.
Awesome, awesome. So I know you've had like a lot of accomplishments, such as the number one junior in the state of Georgia. You're ranked 76 in the World Amateur Golf rankings at one time. But like, what do you think your biggest accomplishment in golf so far has been?
That's a good question. I would say, man, it's a great question. So we won 3 state championships in a row. When I was in high school, and I don't know, that's something I'm really proud of.
Yeah,
Just rallying everybody together to do it the first time and then do it again, and another time my senior year. Those were some of the most fun times of my
for sure.
life, and especially in golf. Just being in that team setting, winning championships, and to do it
Yeah,
3 times in a row in a really good state for golf was pretty awesome.
yeah. I know the Eastern Coast alone is really strong, but North, South, and North South Carolina and Georgia especially. I mean, all those states are loaded with golf, and that's pretty impressive. 3 in a row.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Southeast is definitely the golf mecca.
You noticed, like playing in college golf, you have a lot of the same competitors as you did in junior golf.
Yeah, a ton of familiar faces. Yeah, I mean by now almost everybody that I know, I grew up playing against and competed against in high school and in the state of Georgia. It's just there's so many good players that come out of Georgia and go on to do great things, and I'll see a bunch of them this summer. And yeah, I don't really think about that often, but yeah, there's a bunch that I grew up
Yeah,
playing with that I still compete against.
that's awesome. Yeah, you almost playing with them, you feel more comfortable too. I'm sure, just like being out on the course and almost like
100%. Practice rounds,
yeah,
just off the course at tournaments, it makes it a whole lot more fun.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So what's your favorite tournament as a team, like in college? You guys have traveled to, of course.
So my favorite that we've traveled to is probably Notre Dame's event. They give every team that competes tickets to the football game that weekend. So we got
Oh,
to see them play Cincinnati this past fall, and at that time they were both in the top 10, and the stadium got real loud. There's a lot of history there, so it was cool
yeah,
for all of us. We all grew up going to SEC games, so it was cool for us to experience like a Notre Dame
yeah,
game. But another answer to your question, I answered Notre Dame because we travel there, but our home tournament, I'd say, is my favorite tournament in college golf. We get
yeah,
a ton of support from the community, and a lot of supporters and fans come out and cheer us on for a couple of days. It
yeah.
gets pretty loud.
That's awesome. Yeah, having a lot of competitors and stuff like that is also fun. I mean, I'm sure being at home and being able to compete is in front of your friends and family is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So like when you're practicing and stuff, what things do you value the most when practicing to be like the best player you can be?
Yeah, I'd say when I'm playing some of my best golf, I've been able to get off the range a little bit, and when I'm playing some of my worst golf, I get pretty stuck on the range.
Okay.
Um, so just getting off the range, playing a bunch of golf, and then working on your short game and wedges, I think is the key for anybody to have success at this level.
Yeah.
But it's a lot easier said than done. Sometimes you're
Yeah.
just not really comfortable with where your swing is at, and you just find yourself stuck out there for hours on end. But even then, you got to trick yourself into working on short game the majority of the time because
Yeah.
it'll save you shots throughout the course of a tournament.
Yeah. So I hear a lot of tour players talking about like to be successful, you have to be able to shoot par just a couple under when you don't have the best stuff. So, what do you think the best way to like, be able to do that is?
Kind of double down on what I was just saying. I think the only way you can put up good scores without feeling like you have your best stuff is to chip and putt it well.
Mm,
Because usually when you don't have your best stuff, I mean, it's usually relating to your ball striking. At least for me, I
yep.
tend to say that if I'm not hitting it well. So from there, it's just putting the work around the greens, and that's where those results will start to pay off when you don't think you're playing that well, but you're scoring well.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So we're gonna take it to the back nine segment. I'll just fire a couple quick questions at you, and so I'll start off with the first one. Which player on tour do you think fits to the best?
Um, I would say maybe Xander Schauffele, just because our swings are somewhat similar. I don't think our games are maybe that similar, but people have said that I swing it sort of like Xander. I mean, I wish I was as good as that guy, but that
That's
was the
not a
first thing that came to my mind.
yeah. That's not a bad comparison for a swing.
Yeah.
Take that all day. What's the nicest course you've ever played, and then what's the hardest?
Okay, nicest course I've ever played is probably Wade Hampton Golf Club in North Carolina. Big fan
Awesome.
of that one. And then the hardest course I've ever played would probably be the Blessings Golf Club, which is where our national championship was my freshman year. The Blessings Greyhawk, Honors Course, those are a couple that came to my mind. Pinehurst number 2 when it's in really good shape.
For sure. Yeah.
Those 3 or 4.
And last question: if you're in a bar fight and one of your teammates has to back you up, who are you going with?
It's a great question. I got my buddy Mason sitting right here, but I'm going to say Jack Bolcha. That guy, he's just a freak athlete, and I just feel like I could trust him to have my back, not only as a friend but as like a fighter. I feel like he's just going to get it done.
All right, I respect that. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today. Hopefully we can do it again.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Take care.
You too.